Excerpt from Prevailing Wind, page 58, written and narrated by Thomas Dolby. Davy finally let out his breath. He noticed his hand was tightly gripping Edith's. He pulled it away, embarrassed. She looked up at him and smiled, but it was a kind, sisterly smile, not what he would have wanted. He mumbled something about needing to balance the boat and shuffled aft to sit on an empty lobster trap.
Thank you.
She turned from him to Jacob.
Both of you. Thank you so much.
The moist night air cooled them. Jacob rowed the skiff across the wide harbour, his broad back making easy work of it, despite the heavy payload. The oars dipped and dipped again. The moon was higher now, more silver than orange. A flock of noisy Canadian geese crossed the dark sky overhead, the surface of the water reflecting their passage like a pewter-stained mirror. Edith leaned back on her elbows and closed her eyes. She pulled a pin out of her hair and let her shining locks fall loose. Davy couldn't take his eyes off her pale neck and the small bumps of her breasts under the lace apron. He thought,
when she opens her eyes again, she'll believe she's dreaming.
Something otherworldly was happening to the dark waters of the harbour. The brothers had seen it before. Each time the tips of Jacob's oars dipped, they were illuminated by a bright blue glow, a pool of brilliant flecks like a spotlight from the blackness underneath. The drips from the oars were made of the same sparkle.
Psst, Edith, look,
Jacob whispered. She opened her eyes and gazed around. Then she sat up, blinking in amazement. There was a long trail of bioluminescence in their wake, with pairs of wider blue splotches wherever Jacob's oars had dipped. It was as if the skiff was floating above the dark expanse of the water on a cloud of glowing fireflies. A corner of Jacob's mouth flicked into a smile. When he spoke, his voice was deep and guttural.
I'm a magician, Edith.
His words seemed to hang in the air. The waters beyond their luminous blue cocoon became darker, flatter still, so that Jacob's chiseled face was underlit by the soft glow. For a second, Davy saw him through Edith's eyes. The muscular arms, the calm expression, the shirt open to the waist, and he felt his stomach turn.
You're pretty handy with your legs wrapped around a lump of wood too, aren't you, Jake?
The spell was broken. Jacob fixed his black eyes on Davy's.
I could sail circles around you, little brother, and you know it.
Except when we're sailing backwards, eh?
Edith looked baffled.
Why don't you tell her yourself?
Jacob said nothing, so Davy carried on with the story.
We had a wager, see? Against some West Bay buggers. First boat back to Powder House Island from the ledge, sailing backwards. It ain't easy to do, Edith. You have to balance the rudder and force the boom at the windward.
He mimed the moves as if the little rowing skiff had a sail.
Tell her what happened, mate. We licked them by a country mile, didn't we? And who was steering, eh?
Jacob lengthened his stroke.
Oh, yeah? Did you ever get the stink out of your toenails? Sailing backwards is about the only way you'll ever beat me, tadpole.
Aw, he's just saying that, Edith. 'Cause he ain't never had the feel for it.